Good for Zach?
Yes, for Zach. Welcome aboard. Happy Tuesday, man.
Thanks, bro. You too.
Why, thank you. It's the progress of the week that brings us into like the year. That is
it's
what
the
it
what,
is.
sorry?
It's the progress of the week that brings us into like the regular year. You know, like school starts now.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of it all, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
Some schools are starting today. Looks like you're already at work though.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
But that's regular for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm also a student. I'm working and studying at the same time. So.
Okay. Not to be overwhelming or anything like that, right? Just because life is boring.
You got it, man.
What are you studying?
I'm a business student studying finance major.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
What was the draw to finance for you?
I think that when I was studying business and I started taking the finance courses and learning about how bonds, stocks, and the stock market works, I was drawn to it because I felt like that's knowledge that'll make you a lot of money.
Okay.
So I won't lie, it's kind of selfish interest, but
I mean,
yeah, the more I learn, the more I just I've just found it interesting. I don't think I'll actually find a job in the field though.
Okay.
Because I don't know, man. You put me in a desk with numbers and shit, I get bored pretty fast. You know, I'm more of like a people person.
If you could make a lot of money?
It depends, possibly.
I guess
I wouldn't rule it out, but
there's a point when that gets old, though. I guess.
yeah.
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 So I was asked by a really close friend recently. She just joined up with an MLM that trades.
Oh, wait,
And
MLM, like a multi-level marketing?
That's right.
Okay.
I have a general aversion towards MLMs.
Yeah.
I've been part of them once upon a time, and I just, So I've been doing a lot of digging into it to try and find out if I could, somehow say, what's going on here,
Yeah.
What would your take be on that dynamic?
So she's trying to get you to sign up. Is there an entry fee?
There is not only an entry fee, but like a monthly fee as well too, where they are going to, I guess what they're selling, it sounds like it's more like, we'll kind of help you learn how to do this from month to month kind of thing going forward, and you'll be part of a group, that kind of thing.
Yeah. My advice is, so when I was involved, I did that kind of stuff before too, and I found that what I didn't like about it is I ended up trying to you end up selling your friends all the time, and you don't want to be that guy trying to sell your friends something.
Sure.
What was your name?
Binyam.
Binyam. Binyam.
You got it.
Nice to meet you, man. Zach.
And Zach, what's your name again? Jeez, I was just saying.
Are you looking for another kind of work right now, Binyam? Or
not really?
Not really. Okay.
Not really, just because I'm really specific in what I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Kind of like you, I have that little niche happy spot that I aim for.
Yeah.
And but I'm not opposed to hearing ideas.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to hearing ideas. So I guess the short answer is I'm not looking, but I'm not closed off.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
You're very well spoken.
Why, thank you. I'm very wordy. That's another way my friends say it. You can make it a lot simpler, Benio.
Have you ever considered doing like sales job, making commission, anything like that?
I've been told I'd be good at sales.
I think you would.
I've had my hand at sales, and I think what it was for me that made me not have a good experience or be successful is I just don't think I believed in the product as much, so
what were you trying to sell?
Well, I mean MLMs for one. I was in that once upon a time, as well as vacuum cleaners.
That's a hard one. Door to door?
Yes.
Did you have any success with that? Or?
No, I didn't.
It's
I mean,
tough.
I had lots of success getting into doors and so on, and talking and connecting, and that's what I do really well. But at the end of the day, though, I'm not sure how. When I see like where they're at, and I'm saying, okay, you could probably do it. Like I don't have that bone in me business-wise to make the sale at their expense.
Right.
I don't believe in the product strongly enough to say you need to like go bankrupt for this product. Right? That's my thing. And I think that's why I probably didn't do well at sales when I was there. But now, what am I selling now? Now I think what I'm selling is, I don't know. It's funny to think about it even in terms of sales, because I think I am selling something. Why I love what I'm doing right now as an Uber driver is I get to control so many elements of what I give as far as my service, right? So that's really important for me.
Cool.
And I think what I sell now is not a way of life, but an ideology or a way of connecting. My big thing is how we communicate and how we do so well.
Cool.
That's my jam.
Interesting.
And so if I were to sell anything, that's what I'd be like, this is that important. And I want you to change your perspective, but I'd like to have that engagement, you know, to say back and forth.
So in terms of how we communicate?
How we communicate, how we connect. I've been in this country for 3 decades now, since I was young.
Yeah.
I've never forgotten my experience when I didn't fit once upon a time socially. So I've learned a lot about this culture here, in contrast with mine as well too.
Yeah.
And I've learned in such a way where I don't abide just everything. I'm really critical about what I'm observing, experiencing. Yeah. I ask questions about the whys and try to dig a little deeper that way.
That's the important stuff.
I think so. I think so. And all that's to say, there are things that I do observe in this culture that are fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think many immigrants who move here are like, yeah, that's amazing. And then there's also many other elements that could be reworked or readdressed or, just renavigated. And so that's where I look at those elements. And so the way I communicate with others, I think I have experienced tremendous success over the years. Just in being able to connect that way, but I also love being able to share that with others and saying, here's what could be, here's what I'd like to encourage you towards.
I like it.
Yeah. See, I don't have a simple answer.
No, that's solid.
It's like I have like set of a whole.
Very well thought out. You're an intelligent individual, I can tell.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Sorry, how do you pronounce your name again?
It's like a bin and a yam together. A bin full of yams will get you to binyam.
Binyam. Oh, You've told people that before, haven't you?
I have. I used to work with kids lots, and so that they found really helpful. So I found that.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
The binyamizer, the binyami,
Binyamizer.
Many ways. I like that one. I haven't gotten there yet.
Cool, yes. Right on.
Yeah, so that's why I say I'm really specific about what I do participate in.
Yeah.
Just because I have a really narrow focus on what I want to expend myself for, what I want to invest myself in, and I'm usually driven by conviction.
Yeah, interesting.
And that's why I love listening to other people's perspectives and how they got where they are. Hence why I was asking, so what was the draw for finances, for example, right? And what's going to happen later?
Yeah, no, that's fair, man. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. Right on.
Your happy destination, if you could call all the shots, what would that look like for you?
Ooh, okay.
If you could like have your dream setting of saying, ooh, this is like my jam.
I think that would be, so I learned about something in my international business class that really shifted my perspective.
Okay.
And what it was basically, you hear a lot about like Western countries maybe going to like a third world or a not as well off country and taking advantage of the labor and things like that.
Sure enough, yeah.
But there's another, I can't remember what company it was, but what they did is they actually took the Western standards and the minimum labor laws.
Yeah.
And they brought all of that culture into the third world country and gave the people an opportunity to work as if they were in a Western country. Even though they were being paid a bit less, they're still being paid what they'd be paid. Sorry, better than they'd be paid locally.
Okay.
Then they're also getting educated, trained, and they're actually building the communities by doing that. So not only were they building the business, but they're also building the country in like a positive way.
Yeah.
So if I could I've always wanted to be that kind of entrepreneurial spirit that really drives me.
Yeah.
If I could figure something out that actually benefited a country like that, while still being profitable in the Western country.
Sure.
I think that would really satisfy my need of creating something, making a difference, as well as having an impact, you know?
Yeah.
So, and as well as make enough money to have the freedom to, you know, go fuck around the beach or do whatever.
Yeah.
So if that's my kind of short, long answer to that one. How about you?
If I could choose?
Yeah.
I would say I'd love to do a podcast.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, I think a podcast would give me access to people.
Yeah.
But freedom to be able to explore like I'd like to.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
Yeah, and I think that would, like, already, like, when I'm not Ubering, I have a couple of platforms that I've just been putting together over the last few months. So this is relatively new for me.
Yeah.
But it's got quite a bit of attention, and attention in a really good way. That's cool, eh?
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, attention in a really good way, where the kind of themes that really mean a lot to me are what the people are resonating with, and that's what they're identifying and saying, man, this is really good. And so they've already been asking, saying, hey, we would love to see a podcast. And I'm like, well, cool. I don't have the time yet.
That's awesome, man. That's wicked. I dig it.
But it's neat to be able to, you know what it's like when you're in a great conversation.
Yeah.
And it means a lot. Like you're learning a lot about yourself. You're that's, I think, what I do on an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
So for most people, it would be just a once in a while sort of a, hey, that was amazing, wish I had more of these. Whereas for me, it's more of a consistent appetite that I feed myself. Thank you.
That's so powerful.
And I'd like to share that with others to say, just to help them, model what it could look like, and then also furthermore to start experiencing in their own context, so that they can start, learning and then taking on and making their own experiences instead of voyeuristically just indulging in mine. So that's my desire.
Man.
Thank you.
Good answer. I like it.
I appreciate that.
Solid.
When we were young, there were, I'm not sure, some had no idea what they wanted to commit themselves to in life. Others definitely had a clear, specific, area that they're aiming for. I think for most of us, we do a lot of reappropriating though. A lot of reappropriating in the sense of, this is what I struck out towards, but I had so many setbacks in the context of life in general, and so now I'm having to play a bit of catch up or redirecting, and there's usually a sense of shame for a lot of people, and I know I was one of them. Shame in that I never actually quite got to where I wanted to get to, for example, and I think the really helpful thing to help young people to accommodate for is not a destination, but more so the in-between, where as you're going through these various setbacks or whatever it is that you're planning for, you change and grow as a person. You change and grow in some instrumental ways, and I don't think we ought to start describing what